Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we set up our gateway, and also here I pass all that our information. That means our all that field data as status. That means our valid ID, the transaction, and the bank transaction ID, right? And also here I define that two of this condition when our status will be as a valid, then it will be show this message rather than it will be show our this failed message. So now here, if you go to our make payment, and you can see it's now successfully now loaded. And here one things, I make the things as a USD. You can see when you actually make the things as a USD, then it will be deducted your this amount. So that is actually converting that things in our USD amount. So better I want to make the things as a BDT. Okay, so then it will be better. So I just let save all, and now go here, go back, go to our page again, go to our card. Now our amount as a 610, make a payment. Yeah, now you see it's now showing as a 610. Perfect. So now here I want to work for our checkout page. That means from here, if when you make the things as a success, then it should be rejected to our complete page, right? So here we have to create it. So that is right now we don't need this. That is a payment HTML. We'll work that things later. That is our model, so we don't need this model. That is our URL, and that is our complete. That means in our app payment, and that is our complete.html. So here I want to first of all take our HTML tag, so HTML doc type, and here I define the title. So I just simply define one of the title as a payment status. So I just simply define as a payment status. Okay, this type of one of the title I have defined, and here I don't need to add our base HTML. So for the reasons here I want to add our CSS. That means here that is our Bootstrap CSS link. So better I just simply copy it. Okay, I just copy that link, and in our complete HTML after this title here I just simply paste it. Here we need that Bootstrap because of all from here I pass some of the URL, right? So here I pass some of the message. So that is actually your payment complete successfully. So that is our message will be visible. For the reasons here I have defined one of the our CSS. That means the Bootstrap CDN link. So I just simply defining it, and also I define that our title will be as a payment status. And for show this message here I want to do that is actually our body tag. So into the body tag area I want to visible it. So if you want to visible it, so I just take one of the div. So here I define the div container. So that will be as a Bootstrap one of the class as a container. Okay, I just simply define as a div container, and then I take another div, and here I name it as a message. Okay, messages, and then container. So messages container empty2. Okay, empty, and then 2. So then here I want to define one of the condition. So I think you already know about it, because here we use that condition if there have any messages. Okay, sorry. So if there have any messages, then it will be show our message. So here we have to load our for loop. So after this, okay, after this I want to define one of the for loop. So here I just simply define that for loop with the for, and I just name it as a message. Okay, I just name it as a message in messages. So messages, and then here we have to finish it. So better I want to end our for. That means the and for, and also we have to end our and if condition. So I just simply define as and if. Okay. So now here I want to take another div, and into the div area I define another class. Class will be as a alert, and then here I want to pass our message tags. So that is our message. So with this message I want to define all the tags. So that will be as a tags, right? So here I simply pass it, and also after that here we have to add one of the if condition. So that is our div. And here I want to define one of the if condition. So we did this work because of here I only want to show that message actually, right? So that is our if our messages. So if these messages have some tags, then our this class, and with this class with this message, so it should be actually message. Okay, that means right now we are already into the for loop. So if this message tags class alert will be as a message, so if this message tags will be added, and after that we have to AND it. So I just simply AND it. Sorry, after that I want to AND our if condition and if. Okay friend, so that is our if condition and that is our AND if condition. Perfect. And also after that we have to define another role. So I just simply define the role. Our role will be as a alert, so I just simply define that alert. Okay, and then here I want to show that our message, whatever the message will pass from here, and also I define our tags. So now I just take the things with this message. So here I just simply show our message. Okay, then our dev, and then our and for, and then and if. Perfect. So now it should be display when our status will be valid, then this our success tags message will be visible. Okay, and also here I define our status and our valid ID. So that is our valid ID and the transaction ID, that is a bank transaction ID. So I want to only display our this valid ID and the transaction ID. So when it will be actually the valid, okay, better I just cut it from here. So when it will be as a valid, and after that valid I want to display both of this. Okay, so here I don't need this, so right now I just simply remove it. So that will be our if condition. So here that is our status and that is our if condition and that is our else if. Perfect. That means when our status will be valid, then we need actually our valid ID and then our transaction ID, rather than here we don't need this. So status, here I define that status will be display on here, and then our valid, if this valid then it should be show it, and else it should be show this one. And also here I want to do another things, like when our this message will be display, here I have defined this message will be redirected to our complete.html, that means here, right? So in particular that position this message will be visible when our total transaction will be successfully done. So here I want to do, here we have to also redirect it to the back page, right? So here also I have defining it. So here I have defining it, it should be redirected to our same page. That means when it should be failed, when it should be successful, that is all that our same URL I have defined. So when it should be done, then I want to redirect it to our back page. The back page means that will be redirected to our some of the page as home page or whatever the things you want. So if you want to define one of the auto load, then you can also defining it like here. That means after the time period it automatically it will be refresh this page. So they have also one of the meta. So here I want to use this meta. So I just simply define as a meta. So into the meta area, so here we don't need this name, so I just simply remove it. Here you have to define as a HTTP. Okay, HTTP and then equipped, and here you have to define that refresh. So I just simply define as a refresh. Okay, that means it will be automatically refresh, and into the content area you can set the time. That means here I define as a 5 second. So that means after that 5 second it will be redirected. Okay, and if it will be redirected to where, so here also you have to define that URL. So I just simply define that one of the URL, and here I define that URL will be it should be redirected to our home page. So that is a URL, and home page I have defined that in our app shop. That means into the app and then shop. So into the app shop I define maybe that is our app shop. That is our app shop. Into the app shop, if you go to that our URL, that means that is actually the URL. Here you can see I define that our home. That means it should be redirected to our home page. So that is our name. So I'm defining it. It should be redirected to our home page. Okay. So now let's check this out. I think everything will be very much clear to you. Now just click on the save all. So everything is running well. So now I want to check it better. I want to go to back. So that is our total amount. I just refresh it. And now go to our mobile banking, go to that Rocket, and here there is a OTTP, everything when it will be successful. If you click as a success, yes, you can see it's now showing as your payment completely successful. And after that 5 seconds, it will be automatically redirected. Yes, you can see after that 5 seconds, automatically this page is refreshed. And after that refresh, I define as a 5 seconds, and then it will be redirect to our URL. I have defined as a app shop home. That means you can see it's now redirected to our app shop home page. But here one thing, you can see into the cart area I have already purchased this product, but still now that is showing in our that area, that means in our cart area, right? So also we have to define some of the condition. When this our cart will be refreshed, that means when our payment will be complete, automatically our this cart, all that product will be removed. So for doing this, if you go to our app order, into the app order, so now I think it will be very much interactive, because if you go to that our app order model, into the model area you can see I defined that purchase by default as a false, right? So for the reasons all that our value is on here, so I have to make the things as a true. When our purchase field data will be as a true, when our order data will be as a true, and also I define another one as a order. That means into the order area, you can see into the order area I have also defined our default value as a false. So we have to make the things as a true. That means when it should be done, then it should be make as a true, and when it should be true, then automatically it should be gone from here. Okay, so here we have to set it. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.